Hey, howdy everyone, Tony here. I hope you're doing well. Today I will be utilizing the TDU method of analysis to look for potential setups in the charts. Let's see what we can find. First, if you want to learn more about the TDU method, check out the site. If this video is helpful or you learned something new, please like and subscribe to stay updated with my analysis. Now let's dive into it.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Tony here. Hope you're doing well. Just want to do a super quick video here on Bitcoin and some of the altcoins. I have some interesting takes on it. I think we could be looking at the biggest alt season ever, or we could be looking at the biggest fake out ever. And I might be a little bit hyperbolic with that, but we're going to take a look at the charts and see in the Elliott form lens how the altcoins are actually looking at the smallest degree. See if we're actually going to get a little spark here before we get the big fire blast off. So want to go over quickly here. Bitcoin first though. Right now everything still looks pretty good. See, we still have this swift move up here and we are on a bit of divergence. Not the best look. Ones can have divergences, so if we are going to be doing some kind of expanding fifth wave or a continuation wave up here, having this be the one wave of that and showing some divergence off of the last move up is not that rare. So showing a little bit of a divergence here again. If this is the top, definitely concerning. Right now, we don't really have the proof that it's going to come down yet. Typically, what you want to see is a move greater or equal force and distance traveled and within the price action. So typically when we're in a wave 5, you want to see something like this. As you can see here at the smaller degree, we do have something like that happen where we get a nice swift move that comes and takes out the previous wave 4, the previous correction there, and then comes back in for continuation. We did that at a larger degree here, but for now, we still haven't dumped all the way back down to here yet. So we still have some opportunity here where we could be doing something pretty bullish and continue on. Now, if we get a nice deep retracement, that would be preferred. Typically, I went back and checked some of the other corrections in Bitcoin, and typically we at least get down to 382. We don't skip too far ahead of that. So either this is a more bullish take on everything, or we just did a little bit of a front run and we're going to head up. But typically Bitcoin likes to go get to 50% retracement here. So that's a little bit of an interesting fact there that we did such a shallow retrace before a move up. And again, as I've been posting on X here, that's either can be a super bullish thing, or there's a chance that we're going to be coming down for even deeper retracement. So typically when you get like those corrections and such with the WXY or the double zigzag, I should say, it's usually because the initial move isn't deep enough to fulfill the retracement requirement that the market deems fit. Or typically you get a combination when you have a shallow retracement like this. You put in the X wave and then you either get something deeper to reach a certain retracement requirement, or you get a flatter sideways retracement to put in a time requirement. So we still have some time here. We're about to get to the 1 to the 1. So we could see some more kind of sideways here, which wouldn't be a bad thing. Holding 100K would be the most ideal setup here, depending on what pattern plays out. If we're going to fill in this retracement with time, that's great. 100K should hold. Every time we've come down there, we blasted straight up. So that wouldn't be the worst thing. Coming down to the 50 would add a bunch more methods to the mix though. So if we do get a retrace down to the 50, I don't think that would be the worst thing either. It would bring on a lot more traders into the mix. It won't cause a whole lot of FOMO. Like if we do break out, it might cause a lot of people to FOMO in and send us up even faster. But if we're going to get some more friends in on the train ride here, I think coming down to 92 isn't the worst thing. Hit the 50. We have a nice bit of support resistance line here. We get a lot more traders in at the 50, and we get the algo potentially as well. So honestly, that would be like the most ideal situation here. We get a nice correction. We already have our swift move down. So if this is some kind of impulsive down and then a flat, and then we're coming down for another sharper kind of retracement, I'd still be considering this an ideal spot to look for another entry. Since this move is such a large move compared to any of these corrections in here, I think we have to assess that this is of a larger degree. So figuring this out up here, this larger degree move is going to be the key. Either it's going to be a ABC, one XYZ, whatever, double zigzag. Is it going to be a combo and go sideways? I think we're at least at this point know that we're dealing with a higher degree move here. So getting back to it again, I think we could sweep up here and even come back down, sweep but I think holding 100K is going to be the key for here. If we do end up breaking down, one thing I don't want to see is a move down here and then we start correcting back to this area, because then I'd be looking for something to more of a move down. Anytime we come down to these levels, if we're going to remain bullish, we want to see a nice spike up like this. We don't want to see something like this where we break the support and then we come back and test it and just dump even further. Luckily, we did come back from this. Again, there's anytime we make a new impulsive move to a new high, that's always the most bullish and potentially the most bearish possibility in Elliott Wave you can have, because either this wave 5 is the start of something or it's the end of something. So something to consider. Right now, I think it's looking okay. We're still getting a lot of buyers in the 100K area. Breaking that in a swift move down to 92 would be ideal to get some friends on in the 50, but we don't want to see it come back up and correct and not get back above 100K, which is proven to be a level of interest here because it's held as both support and resistance in the past. Fortunately, I don't think there's a setup here right now. Pretty good correlation with ES. I'll put that on real quick. So Bitcoin hit an all-time high before ES did. So it looks like it's running ahead of it a little bit. Maybe it's waiting for ES to catch up, and eventually Bitcoin is going to catch back up with ES. So we could be leading the market. Bitcoin could have just been nice and exuberant, and now we're kind of going sideways and gaining some fuel here to follow ES up, and I think that's what's kind of happening here. I think a couple of videos ago, we were looking for a potential this just to be a V-shaped recovery here, and that played out. In my video, I thought it was going to take like a couple weeks. It's taken a couple months to do a V-shaped recovery and head back up to the all-time high, but we did it. We're back up here. I think eventually, the higher this goes, if this is more than just a sweep of liquidity up here on ES, BTC is going to follow up. When the ES and everything else is doing good, BTC is going to be doing good. So even if we come back down and try and retest these highs, just as long as we don't break back below these highs on ES or in NQ or whatever, and start correcting back to it, I think everything's looking pretty good. A lot of background noise going on too, a lot of stuff in the news, most bullish stuff you could ever think about for Bitcoin at this point. Corporations and everything is pretty much in control of all that stuff now, so I think the correlations here between the major markets and Bitcoin is what's dragging Bitcoin around and giving us some weird signals as far as the Elliott Wave goes. I have noticed that. So again, all speculation until something actually happens here. Having a video out over the weekend is never the best idea because Monday or Sunday night, depending on when futures open, things can change pretty quickly. But for now, I think we're looking okay. If we start breaking down, I think at the smallest degree, we'll go look for a little trade setup down there. So right now, again, we did have something a little bit similar here, where we had that swift move up, and then we had a shallow retracement here. So maybe that's Bitcoin's new thing. It does a quick move up and then a super shallow retrace. This didn't even make the 382 either. So maybe that's Bitcoin's new thing. But right now, I think I'm watching these levels right here. So 106 kind of my line in the sand for now. That's when we start looking for a bigger degree retracement. And of course, if we get a break of structure down here, then we're going to be looking for that to play as support resistance as well, or resistance if it comes down. As you can see here, we have some resistance support flips there. So breaking these levels, we end up doing that. I'm going to be watching for this area to turn into resistance depending on what happens in it. So could still be bullish at this point. I think we're bouncing out of 618 at this time. So you're super uber bull. Again, I think we're still in the golden zone here. Typically, we're not going to see anything today on Saturday, pending any news drops that the president drops or any tariff news. So, of course, in this kind of market, when a tweet can drive the market up and down swiftly and violently, you got to be careful. The next big thing, I think we're coming up for tariffs. The tariff deadline is like the 9th or the 7th. So something else to be considered. Look up the news on that. Follow world events. Try and tag those on your chart if you can. Sorry, I don't have that on right now. I'm trying to do this pretty quick. Keep an eye on that. Last time I kind of failed is I knew something was looking funny in the charts, but I didn't know the tariff news was a planned event. So obviously we got some nice swift moves, and whoever bet against the tariff being good news made out pretty good. So always keep an eye on world events as well. Just something to consider. Not financial advice, of course. But again, right now, I think we still have the corrections pointing down and the swift moves pointing up. And until we start moving down like that and correcting here, I think Bitcoin's still looking pretty good on the bull side. That's all I got on Bitcoin for now. Before I jump into the altcoin situation, I just want to let you guys know that Trade Devils University is offering some discounts here for the 4th of July. So if you're interested in technical analysis or Elliott Wave, definitely come check it out. Sam here has been doing this for 25 years. These are the techniques that he has found to be useful over those 25 years. So if you're want to learn more from a seasoned vet here in the markets, come check out the Wipeout first. It's free. You can look through and check out all the different things that are offered within the belt system. If you like the way the information is being conveyed and the information itself, you can continue on from there. But you can come check it out for free. And if you've been holding out, now's a good time. We got some deals going on. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move over to some altcoins here. Just want to go over a couple alts in this look that some of them have. We think there's some kind of 1-2, 1-2 coming in, or a 1-2, 1-2 of the C. Obviously, some of them are working out and some of them are pumping nicely. Some of these have this kind of look like this. And one thing I just want to go over is that a lot of times I've seen Elliotticians, I've done it before in the past, obviously, when I say that, where we start looking at this price action and say, we have this swift move up. This has to be some kind of correction. We're going up. There's no doubt about it. Some of these even look better than others, and I'll pull up some eventually. But this is one of the more ugly, questionable ones that I was talking about here, Adam, where we have this one possible 1-2, 1-2. I'm sure somebody who was watching this, they were thinking, oh, we're going up no matter what. And then we get a sweep of the high and a dip down. And again, Elliotticians, if they have a certain bias, they think the bottom's in, they've went all in, they went in more than they should have. They're always going to be looking for that bullish count, no matter how deep these things go. As long as the base of this impulse holds out, it's going to keep converting and converting until it either gets stopped out and they take a break and walk away for a while, or until it moves up into the direction they were considering. So it's one thing I've noticed, and one thing I've stopped kind of doing, where you just eventually you just have to give up and say this is just slop and walk away, in my opinion. But in any case, what I'm getting at here is that right now, for a lot of these coins, we basically just have some kind of impulse we have some kind of impulse correction, which really just equates to a zigzag at this time, or a correction. So we have to be kind of careful. Some of these look a lot better. This one, Adam, I think we still do have a chance here. So one thing to consider here is that we're just sweeping highs and we're sweeping lows here before we get a move up. This one also didn't quite retrace as far. So for Elliott Wave, we're looking right there. For algos, we've already touched the algo entry zone. But if we think this is going to be some kind of flat, again, we're using the orthodox tops here. We could be looking for some kind of flat coming in before we get a move. So right now, for some of these, I'm watching for this low to be swept in an impulsive manner. And now the key to this whole thing is that we retrace back above it as quickly as possible, correct to it, and move up. And that's what I'm waiting for right now on some of these uglier ones. Like this is kind of could go both ways. I'm waiting for a sweep of the low and a move up back above an area of interest and then move on. So that's why I'm looking for some of these. I guess we'll go to Sol as another example. So Sol right now, we called this pretty good, but for right now, this is just a zigzag up. Typically, when it comes to 1-2, 1-2s, the twos are going to be a similar type style of correction. So we got a little bit of a question mark over here. Again, I think we just has to figure out what it wants to happen here. But right now, the main considering low here is this pivot here. So anything that happens within here, as long as it's corrective, it's okay. But again, what do we have actually printed here? We have like a pretty good looking zigzag. And then we have to consider and look past all that bullish hype and everyone's saying ape into altcoins. Maybe I'm taking a shot at a few of them. I'm not going to be all in every single one of them. I'm hedging as usual. So one thing to consider, I'm not sure if everyone's on the hype alt market altcoin season train or not. I don't really look around too much, but just from the chart point of view here, we have to be careful. It's exciting, but we have to be cautious here because right now the trend is still down at most degrees. We did get a break here, but we still need that correction and push past it and keep pushing up and correcting back down like we have been. So just a few things I wanted to go over. I didn't want to make this too long, but if you're scrolling through, there's a lot of the alts look pretty good. Some of them are a little bit questionable, like Atom there. Maybe they're going to be putting in a flat, so keep an eye out for that. But for this, I think caution is still on the table, but I'm still playing some bull. I'm playing some kind of short in the short term here, just because of where we are with everything else and just a hedge. So just a few ideas. I rambled on a little bit, but if you have any questions, concerns, definitely let me know. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, show me some love if this has helped you out, or if you learned something new. Trade safe, trade clarity. Take it easy.